Hi, and welcome to Music and Gear. You can tell we're down in the shop again. We have an NK guitar here. It was sent to me, but it was wired wrong, new from the factory. So instead of returning the guitar, I went ahead and replaced some of the electronics. The problem the guitar had was this switch right here. And we'll get a closer view of the switch. They had it wired wrong, and you can see they've terminated the two outer pins. The outside pins shouldn't be used. This pin and this pin should be bridged together to make the connection. And the outside pins are not used on this particular switch. That's how that's wired. So this is your output. Your neck pickup goes here. Bridge pickup goes here or here. And then this is bridged together, so when you go to the center position, these two connect and it comes out the center here. I did that and I put a 0.047 capacitor on the new electronics. I did go upstairs and test it, and it seems a little dark. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this 0.022 in, and we're going to test it. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, it's got humbuckers, you have to run 500K, you've got to run this capacitor. You can play with the capacitors, you can play with your pots, 250 pots on a humbucker. That's going to change the value of the cap. Tinker around with it, get the sound that you want. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to take the guitar, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to go into squirrel mode here, and we're going to take the back cover off. And here's our electronics cavity. You can see that it's completely shielded. And you can see the new wiring that I did, which is the double shielded cable. In other words, there's the main wire, okay? And then it has a nylon braid. Then you have the ground wire around that. Then there's another nylon braid or rubber. And then I use this braided ground around that. And then it acts as a shield. With that and the copper shielding tape and the back being covered, this guitar should be super quiet. So now that we have that off, we do need to flip the guitar over again. And I do need to remove the control pots, the knobs. And since we're only messing with the tone, I think the tone is this one, but we're going to double check. Yes. Let's loosen our tone. Get that out of the way. Flip the guitar over. So all we have to do is replace this cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rag. We're going to cover the guitar, put this around the electronics. We don't want any damage to the guitar. And you can see right here, it's grounded to the side of the pot. Then it comes around and it's terminated here. So I'm going to turn my iron on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach in and I'm going to snip that. I already have my one iron on. That's my high powered iron. So I'm going to grab this. We're just going to barely touch it. Now this connection up here is going to be a little harder because I'll always take the end of the wire and I put a hook on it and I'll hook it around, and that's great until you go to do a repair. So I found if you come in and you nip it right on the side, now when we heat that, we should be able to get that little piece off. Alright, we've got our new capacitor right here. So we need to go from this terminal over to the side. And I'm going to straighten that. I'm going to take my snips. I'm going to snip it. Save these pieces of wire because they're great to do ground bonds from this terminal over to your ground. I'm going to put a hook on it. I'm going to come in and pinch that. And remember, save these. Now we're going to take our flux pin. I'm just going to put a little bit on that terminal. We want to watch that wire there so we don't hit that wire. Clean our iron. Now I've got to turn it up. Give it a second to warm up. There's that connection. And then all we have to do is rebond here. And again, I just want to use my flux pin just a little bit and get a little bit right on the side of that And I want to bend this to where it hits right in line with our other. And that one I'm going to use my big iron. And there we go. Our new cap is installed. Take our cloth rag away. And we're going to reinstall the pot. Put our piece on. Okay, we're ready to put our cover back on. And what I like to do with these knobs that have the screw on the side, I try to align the screw so the screw hits right in this groove. And you'll notice when you do that, you'll have less wobble in the knob. So let's get it set. Make sure you're not rubbing the body. And there you go. That's how you replace your tone cap. And it does actually make a big difference. The value of this resistor is what allows how much of the high end through. It actually blocks some of the signal. So by changing this, you can drastically change the sound of your guitar. A lot of people think they need new pickups. And a lot of times if they just play with the values of their caps, they'll end up getting the sound that they're looking for just by replacing a $4 or $5 cap. So let's take the guitar upstairs and see what it sounds like. Okay, we now have the guitar upstairs. I have it plugged into my ART SGX 2000 preamp. Let's check our tone with the 0.022 cap and see what it sounds like. That's all the way down. Okay, let's just do some noodling around and see what the guitar actually sounds like. Okay, that's going to conclude our small demo on our repair on this NK headless guitar. I believe the .022 capacitor works really well with these humbuckers. Like I said, I did try the .047 and it was a little dark. So hopefully you all learned that just changing that cap can really drastically change your guitar. Before you rip the pickup side of your guitar, play around with that, cap. You might find just changing that cap might get you the sound that you were looking for. Anyway, if you like these detailed videos on repairs and small demos on the repairs, leave me a comment down below. You can also leave me a comment, what's your favorite cap on your rig? What are you finding works well with your setup, whether it's a single coil or a double coil? I'd be interested in hearing it. And if you haven't already, smash that like button and consider subscribing. When I see that subscriber count go up, I know I'm doing the content that everyone wants to see. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you found it entertaining and helpful. Neck position.